Have you ever felt stuck in a loop of relentless thoughts about someone? Maybe it's an ex who broke your heart or a crush who doesn't feel the same way. It's like this constant nagging feeling, right? You replay conversations in your head, analyze their every move on social media, and create elaborate fantasies about your future together. Obsessing over someone can be mentally draining and emotionally exhausting. But don't worry, there are ways to break free from this cycle and reclaim your peace of mind. Obsession often stems from a longing for connection, leading us to project our desires onto someone who's unavailable. We build them up in our minds, creating an idealized version that doesn't actually exist. We see only what we want to see, ignoring red flags and filling in the blanks with our fantasies. This fixation is on an illusion, not the real person. Have you ever obsessed over someone you barely knew, convinced they were the one? It's easy to get caught up in the fantasy, especially when we're feeling lonely or insecure. But this idealized version is just that, an illusion. The longer we cling to this fantasy, the harder it becomes to let go and move on. Real connection can only happen when we see each other clearly, flaws and all. So how do we break free? It starts with recognizing the illusion for what it is. Ask yourself, what am I projecting onto this person? What needs of mine are unmet that I'm hoping they'll fulfill? By recognizing the illusion, we can shift our focus from fantasy to reality and open ourselves up to genuine connection. One powerful way to combat obsessive thoughts is to bring ourselves back to the present moment. This practice, often referred to as mindfulness, is a simple yet profound way to anchor ourselves amidst the storm of our thoughts. When we're obsessing, our minds are racing, filled with what-ifs and if-onlys. These thoughts can be overwhelming, pulling us away from the present and into a whirlwind of anxiety and regret. Mindfulness is about gently pulling ourselves back from that mental chaos and grounding ourselves in the here and now. It's a practice of being fully present, of noticing the world around us and within us without getting caught up in it. It's about noticing our thoughts without judgment and letting them pass like clouds drifting across the sky. Just as clouds move and change, so do our thoughts, and we can observe them without getting swept away. Mindfulness doesn't have to be sitting cross-legged on a cushion, chanting Om. It can be integrated into our daily lives in simple, accessible ways. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, feeling the air fill your lungs and then release, bringing your attention to the rhythm of your breath, or paying attention to the sensations of your feet on the ground. Feel the earth beneath you, the texture of the grass or sand, and let that connection ground you. Find what works for you, spending time in nature, journaling, or moving your body. Each of these activities can be a form of mindfulness, helping you to stay present and engaged with the world around you. The key is to find activities that help you connect with your senses and calm your mind. Notice the details, the colors, the textures, the sounds, and let them draw you into the present moment. When we're fully present, those obsessive thoughts lose their power over us. They become less intrusive, less overwhelming, and we can see them for what they are, just thoughts. Imagine your mind is a snow globe. When we're obsessing, it's like we're constantly shaking it, keeping the thoughts swirling and the water cloudy. But when we practice mindfulness, it's like we're gently setting the snow globe down, allowing the snow to settle and the water to clear. This clarity brings a sense of peace and perspective. As the snow settles, we start to see things more clearly. We gain perspective, understanding that our thoughts are transient and not necessarily reflective of reality. As the snow settles, we start to see things more clearly. We gain perspective. We realize that our thoughts are just thoughts, not facts. We realize that our thoughts are just thoughts, not facts. This realization can be incredibly liberating, freeing us from the grip of obsessive thinking. And we don't have to believe everything we think. By embracing mindfulness, we can create a space between our thoughts and our reactions, allowing us to respond to life with greater clarity and calm. Let's talk about emotional detox. Just like we detox our bodies from unhealthy foods, it's important to detoxify our minds from thoughts and behaviors that no longer serve us. Constantly checking their social media, rereading old text messages, or clinging to mementos from the past. That's self-sabotage. Every time you engage in these behaviors, you're reopening the wound, keeping the obsession alive. So, how do we break free? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your triggers. What situations, places, or times of day make you more likely to engage in these obsessive behaviors? Once you've identified your triggers, create some distance. Maybe that means unfollowing them on social media, deleting their number, or packing away old photographs. It might feel scary at first, but it's a necessary step in the healing process. Creating distance isn't about erasing them from your memory. It's about creating space for yourself to heal and move on. Think of it as decluttering your emotional space. Breaking old habits is hard work and takes time. Be kind to yourself throughout the process and keep moving forward. Chapter 4. Cultivate Radical Self-Love. Self-love is about recognizing our inherent worthiness, regardless of our relationship status or anyone else's approval. It's about understanding that we are enough just as we are, without needing to change or conform to anyone else's expectations. It's about embracing our imperfections and celebrating our strengths. We all have unique qualities that make us who we are, and these should be cherished and nurtured. When we truly love and accept ourselves, we're less likely to seek validation from external sources. We become more resilient and self-sufficient, finding joy and contentment within ourselves. We realize that our worthiness isn't contingent on someone else's affection or attention. Our value is intrinsic and not dependent on external validation. When we're deeply insecure, we tend to cling to others for validation. This often leads to a cycle of dependency and disappointment. This can lead to unhealthy attachments and obsessive behaviors. We may find ourselves constantly seeking reassurance and approval from others, which can be exhausting and unfulfilling. But when we cultivate radical self-love, we start to fill our own cup. We learn to provide ourselves with the love and care we need, rather than relying on others to do it for us. We nurture ourselves from the inside out. This means taking time for self-care, engaging in activities that bring us joy, and being mindful of our mental and emotional well-being. We prioritize our own needs and set healthy boundaries. This allows us to protect our energy and maintain a sense of balance in our lives. So how do we cultivate this radical self-love? It starts with self-compassion. We must learn to be gentle with ourselves, especially during times of struggle or failure. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a loved one who's struggling. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and that these do not define your worth. Challenge those negative self-talk patterns. Whenever you catch yourself thinking negatively about yourself, pause and reframe those thoughts. Replace them with affirmations of self-love and acceptance. Remind yourself daily of your strengths, your achievements, and your inherent worth. Engage in activities that bring you joy and nourish your soul. Whether it's painting, playing music, or simply taking a walk in nature, find what makes you happy and make time for it. Remember, self-love isn't selfish, it's essential. It's the foundation upon which we build our lives and our relationships. It's the foundation for healthy relationships, both with ourselves and with others. When we love ourselves, we are better able to love and support those around us. When we love and accept ourselves fully, we create a solid sense of self-worth that can't be shaken by external circumstances. This inner strength allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. Chapter 5. Let go of attachment. Letting go is one of the hardest things we can do, especially when it comes to someone we care about deeply. The bonds we form with others can be incredibly strong, making the act of releasing them feel almost impossible. But true freedom and peace of mind come from releasing our attachment to outcomes. When we let go of our need to control every aspect of our lives, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences. Obsession is often rooted in resistance. We resist change, we resist the unknown, and we resist the idea that things might not go the way we want them to. We resist the reality of the situation and the fact that we can't control another person's feelings or choices. This resistance creates a cycle of obsession and anxiety, trapping us in a loop of negative emotions. This resistance keeps us stuck, feeding the obsession. It prevents us from moving forward and finding peace within ourselves. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or pretending the relationship didn't matter. It means accepting the reality of the situation and understanding that it's okay to move on. It's about acknowledging the truth of the situation and choosing to move forward with grace and compassion. It's about finding the strength within yourself to embrace the future, even if it looks different from what you had imagined. Imagine you're holding on to a helium balloon. This balloon represents your attachment, your need to control, and your fears. The tighter you grip the string, the more resistance you feel. The tension builds, and it becomes harder to hold on. Letting go is about unclenching your fist and allowing the balloon to drift away. It's about releasing the tension and trusting that things will be okay. It might feel scary at first, but there's also a sense of relief. The weight is lifted and you can breathe easier. Letting go is a process, not a one-time event. It's something you have to work on every day, reminding yourself that it's okay to release your grip. There will be good days and bad days. Some days you'll feel strong and free, while other days you might struggle with the urge to hold on. Allow yourself to feel your feelings fully, without judgment. It's important to honor your emotions and give yourself the space to heal. Don't try to rush the process or numb the pain. Healing takes time. Be patient with yourself. Understand that it's a journey, and every step forward is progress. Trust that you will find peace. Believe in your ability to heal and grow. With time, you'll discover that letting go was the best thing you could have done for yourself. Chapter 6. Seek support. One of the most courageous things we can do is to reach out for support when we're struggling. It's about acknowledging that we don't have to go through this alone. Talk to your friends, family, a therapist, or a support group. Sharing your experience with someone you trust can be incredibly cathartic. A therapist can provide a safe space to explore your feelings and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Remember, asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we create space for deeper connection. We realize that we're part of a community of human beings who have all experienced heartbreak and loss. If you're struggling, please know that you don't have to go through this alone. Reach out to someone you trust. Seek professional help. Outro, you're not alone. Did you find these tips helpful? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, overcoming an obsession is a journey, not a destination. Be kind to yourself, celebrate your progress, and don't hesitate to reach out for support when you need it. Thanks for watching.